Okay, let's have a look at the following exercises. These are without a calculator, so first we have to factorize these two expressions. So I'm just going to write them down here. Exercise number 1, x squared plus x minus 12. So the first step was to just have a look at this constant. In the beginning we can just ignore the sign, just have a look at the 12, and how do we get a 12 from two factors? Well, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4 are the ones that come to mind. With these two factors, we also have to get this plus x. So for example, if we choose 6 and 2, we can choose the signs to be, let's say, plus 6 minus 2 is still plus 4, so that won't work. So 2 and 6 will not work, 1 and 12 will definitely not work. So how about 3 and 4? If we choose minus 3 and plus 4, we get plus 1. So it seems like 3 and 4 will be the factors. So the question is, factorize the following expression. We're not going to solve everything because it doesn't say this expression is equal to 0, just factorize it. So let's write like this. We know that it's going to be two brackets like this, and then since we have an x2 term, a positive x2 term, no constant in front. Oh, sorry, it's going to be x and x, because x times x is x squared. Then we know that the numbers, the factors would be 3 and 4, and we said that we have to have plus 4 and minus 3. Now if we work this out, x times x is x squared, x times plus 4 is 4x, and then minus 3 times x is minus 3x. If we work that out, it will be plus 1x, or just plus x. And then minus 3 times plus 4 is minus 12, so the sign is also right for the constant. So we're done. Let's see if we can find the factors for the second expression. X squared minus 14x plus 40. So x squared minus 14x plus 40. We'll see if we got that right. Minus 14x plus 40. Okay, so having this number in mind when we come up with the factors. So how about 10 times 4? Well, with a 10 and 4 we can get some kind of 14. So let's start with that, 10 and 4. This is going to be equal to, and then I'm just going to write the brackets, and then since we have an x2 term, a positive x2 term, oops, I almost wrote it again, we have x and x, of course. So x times x is x squared. And then I'm just going to write 10, and then I'm going to write 4. Now, the signs, well, the only way to get minus 14 is if we have minus 10 and minus 4, because we're going to take minus 10 times x is minus 10x, and then this x term times minus 4 is minus 4x, total minus 14x. How about the constant? Minus 10 times minus 4 is going to be plus 40, so this works out. Number 2, sorry, that was actually A and B. I'm going to erase this and write A and B. Number 2, let's see what they want us to do. Number 2, solve the following equations using the quadratic formula. Okay, I'm just going to do one of these, and then you can try it with the second example with the formula yourself. So 4x squared, see number 2a, 4x squared minus 6x minus 4. And now it says that it's equal to 0. Okay, so we have to solve this equation. For which value of x is this true? So basically we have to factorize this and find the zeros. Here it could be a little bit more difficult to factorize and try to see the factors because we don't have just a x2 term, we have 4x2. So that can be a little bit more difficult. And it also says in the exercise that we have to use the quadratic formula. So the general formula for solving an equation, you remember, if we have ax2 plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then we can find the values of x by using this formula. X is equal to minus b, and then plus minus, and then within the square root symbol, b squared minus 4 times a times c, square root, and then everything divided by 2 times a. We just write 2a. Now, in this case, a is 4, b is minus 6, don't forget the minus sign, and c is minus 4, don't forget the minus sign. So let's use this formula. I'm just looking at this formula and putting in the values. So minus b, which is going to be actually 6, because remember b is minus 6, and then minus 6 will be 6. And then plus minus, and then I'm going to write minus 6 squared minus 4, and then times, I'm going to use bracket instead. A is going to be 4, and then times, I'm going to use bracket again, c, which is minus 4. Okay? And then I'm gonna this square root symbol and everything divided by 2 times a. I'm gonna say 2 bracket, and then a is equal to 4 in this case. Okay, let's see if we get some nice numbers that we can work out easily. So I'm just gonna simplify this a little bit. Equal to 6 plus minus, let's see, there's going to be minus 6 times minus 6 is 36, and here we have minus 4 times 4 times minus 4, so 16 times 4, which is 64. Okay, so I'm going to make some notes here. 36 plus, oops, 64, we're gonna get 100. What a coincidence. Plus minus square root of 100, and everything divided by 8. Now next line, square root of 100 is of course 10, so 6 plus minus 10, and everything divided by 8. Now I'm going to do this, an arrow and an arrow. Basically first I'm going to use the plus sign here and then the minus sign. Remember, this is going to be 2 different solutions. So I'm going to write 6 plus 10 divided by 8 is equal to 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2. So that's 1 0 or 1 root. Now I'm going to use 6 minus 10. Remember it says plus minus here. 6 minus 10 divided by 8 is equal to minus 4 divided by 8 is equal to minus a half, or minus 0.5. Okay, solve the following quadratic equation. We can actually check, even though you can do this afterwards, but I'll show you how to do it now. You can use the solve function under algebra, solve, and then 4x squared 4x squared minus 6x minus 4 is equal to 0. And remember to add a comma, x is our variable. And then we had minus 1 over 2 or 2. What did we get? 2 and minus 1 over 2. Correct. So let's move on. So you'll do the second one, just trying to work it out with the quadratic formula or the general formula. Number 3, solve the following system of linear equations. Okay, let's see if we can write this out. First, let's see if I can move this down a little bit so I can see the equation. This is 3a, and there's no 3b, but still I'm going to use, there we go. I'm going to write these equations like this. 10x plus 5y is equal to 55. And then the second equation here, 4x plus 4y is equal to 32. I'm going to do like this, like a big bracket to indicate that they belong together, and then I'm going to name the first one just 1, and then the second one 2. Remember, there are 2 different ways of solving simultaneous equations. One is the substitution method, and the second one is elimination method. I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to solve these simultaneous equations with a substitution method. So basically I'm going to rewrite the first equation. I'm just going to write 1 here so I know, or so you know which one I'm working on. Number 1. I'm going to try to express x in terms of y. So I'm going to write 10x is equal to 55 minus 5y. I just move 5y, this term, to the right side, then become negative. Then I'm going to divide everything by 10 and do this right away. 55 divided by 10 is equal to 5.5 minus 5 divided by 10 is equal to minus 0.5y. Now I have an expression for x in terms of y. So I'm going to substitute this. Subst into 2. And let's get some space here. So I'm going to substitute this into equation number 2. So instead of writing x here, I'm going to write this expression. So 4 times and then this expression plus 4y is equal to 32. So let's see, this is number 2. 4 times, and then I'm going to write a bracket, which is the same as multiplying. 5.5 minus 0.5y. And then I'm just going to finish this expression and write out plus 4y is equal to 32. Now let's expand the bracket. So 4 times 5.5 is equal to 22. 4 times minus 0.5 is minus 2y, plus 4y is equal to 32. Now I have an expression with just y, and I'll be able to find out what y is. So minus 2y plus 4y is equal to 2y is equal to 32, and move this over here. Minus 22 is equal to 10. And then divide both sides by 2, I get y is equal to 5. Okay, I'm gonna do like this. So now we have done half of the work. Now we just have to substitute this into any of the other equations. So I'm going to use equation number 2. So I'm going to write substitute this into equation number 2. So what do we get? Remember, 4x plus 4y, 4x plus 4y, I'm not going to write y is equal to 5, so bracket 5. And then finish off the equation, 4x plus 4y is equal to 32. It's equal to 32. Simplify a little bit, 4x plus 20 is equal to 32. And then I'm just going to move plus 20 to the right side. I get 4x is equal to 32 minus 20 is equal to 12. And then divide both sides by 4. I get x is equal to 3. Okay, so now we have a value for x and a value for y. This was called the substitution method. The last exercise, they want us to give the domains and ranges of the relations graphed below. Are they functions? Justify your answer. Okay, we haven't really talked about the definition of a function, so I'm just going to answer this in terms of domain and range. So get some more paper here. So let's say this was number 4, 4a, and let's do b here. Remember, domain is, well, stating all the possible x values. So in this case, actually, when it's a circle and it's filled, that means that that x value is included and that y value is included. So if you go to the x-axis here, we see that it's going to be, well, minus 1, 2, 3, it's going to be minus 5, okay? So here, minus 5 is included, and then if we keep going to the right, up until 0, positive values, the function is still defined, and then we come to 6, and the function is not defined for x is equal to 6 because the circle is not filled. But all the other values here in between minus 5 and minus 6, the function is defined for those x values. So let's write minus 5 to 6. So minus 5 and then to 6 and then x in between, and then we cannot include, so I'm going to write is less than, and here we have it to include minus 5, so less than is equal to. Okay, and this is the domain for the first one. Now let's look at possible y values. Well, here the function is, the lowest value here for y is minus 6 and it's defined. And up here it's defined for y is equal to 2. So from minus 6 to 2, range, and we said minus 6 is less than equal to includes minus 6, y less than equal to 2. Let's check that again. Minus 6, from minus 6 to 2. That's correct. Okay, let's have a look at the second one. Well, we haven't really worked with these functions, but basically when we have a filled point here, that means that this x value is going to be, let's see, 1 for each square, so minus 3, minus 5. X is equal to minus 5. Domain. That was not good. Oops. domain. So we said that x is equal to -5, that exact value just -5, and then also we have to add from -2 inclusive to 3, 4, and then 5, but not including 5. Okay, so from 2 to 5, 2 include 2, not including 5. Okay, let's have a look at the graph again. From 2, this is filled, so from 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 4.9, 4.99, but not including 5 because the circle is not filled. How about the y values? Well, we have to remember this point, y is exactly 3, and here it's going from the lowest y value is 0, and then the highest is, well, it's not including 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but up until 6 and not including 6. So from 0 to 6. So the range would be 0, include 0, and not including 6. That would be the range of the function.